There might be times where you're getting a little bit of disc brake rotor rub, and no matter how much tweaking of the brake caliper alignment you do, you just can't get rid of it. Now, if that is you, then look closely, because you actually might find that it's nothing to do with the caliper alignment, it's your disc brake rotor that has bent slightly out of true. It's not easy to do. Discs are really well protected when it comes to crashes. They really are, but actually where they might be susceptible is where you're transporting your bike. So if you're stacking wheels up in a car, or you forget to take the rotors off when you're flying. Now, however it happened, it doesn't matter. And actually it's not too bad anyway, because you can true a disc brake rotor, and here's how. Assuming that the caliper hasn't moved, it should still be aligned to when the disc brake rotor was straight. And so that means that we can then use it as a guide to determine whether the rotor has bent inwards, outwards, or in fact, both. Now here's a little hack to make life a bit easier on yourself. Take something light coloured, so like a piece of paper, and then pop it on the floor underneath your wheel. And that is going to help you distinguish between pad, rotor, and caliper, so that you can actually see the whole alignment process much clearer. Okay, it's time to actually true things up now, and I'll admit there isn't a great deal of science to this. Ideally, you would have one of these, which is a rotor truing tool, and it fits over the end of the rotor, and then you simply bend the rotor very gently in the direction that you want to move it. And you'll find that they're relatively resistant to small tweaks, so you may need to spend a bit of time actually moving it into the desired position. You may not have one of these though, in fact, you probably don't. In which case you can use an adjustable wrench instead, but you do need to be a little bit careful, because obviously it's not quite as deep as the rotor truing tool. And so you may find that instead of actually moving the whole rotor in the direction that you want to go, you'll actually just kink the brake track. So proceed with caution if you do use an adjustable wrench. Now you do need a little bit of patience for this. It's a relatively time-consuming process, but keep eyeballing the rotor, keep tweaking it, and eventually you are going to get it straight. Might take 15 minutes, 20 minutes. That's not that bad. Now, one thing I would say is that if you try and get perfection out of a slightly bent disc rotor, then you may well go mad. What we're looking for is for it to simply not rub the pads anymore. So almost perfect is good enough. Now, when working on disc rotors, you probably don't need to be careful of this bit of the rotor. It's actually not that sharp. But one thing that we really need to be aware of is getting fingers caught in there. Now, it sounds stupid. Why would you put your finger in there? But people do it, and then that's really going to hurt when the disc starts to turn. Then the other thing to bear in mind with fingers is actually a lot of people are really concerned about the oils that you have on the surface of your skin actually contaminating the rotor and the pads. And so if you are going to start touching disc brake rotors, then make sure you stick some gloves on, or really thoroughly clean your hands first. There we go then, a simple procedure. And to be honest with you, I'm quite glad that we've done it, because the geeks out there will notice that that is a very old disc brake rotor. And actually it's one of mine, and I've been meaning to do this job since 2006. Literally, that rotor has been in the bottom of my toolbox, just cluttering it up. So there we go, job done. Oh yeah. Do make sure you subscribe to GCN before leaving this video. It's completely free. Just click on the globe, and then you'll always be in the right place for every Monday's maintenance video. Then if you want some more related topics, related videos, then if you click up there, we've got a video on how to stop brake squeal. So whether you're using rim brakes or disc brakes, that will help you out. Or down there, a video about whether disc brakes are ready for the Pro Peloton. It's an old one, but it's still a good one.